Today I'm going to show you how to make a perspective design with all different kinds of shapes. Now, perspective is a way of drawing that you are trying to make something look three-dimensional. So for this one we're using a single point called the vanishing point. On this design we can put our vanishing point anywhere on the paper. Since in my example I did it up here, I'll just put my vanishing point right there. In this particular one, the vanishing point is high on the page. Now, the eye level line is an imaginary line that goes through the vanishing point, and anything below the eye level line you will see the top of. Anything above it you will see the bottom. So for this design, since it's high on the page, you're going to see a lot of the top of my designs, and I'll have a little bit of the bottom show with the ones above the eye level. The next thing I need to do is create some different shapes around my vanishing point. And these shapes can be any kind of shape that you want. I think it works best if your shapes are a variety of sizes. If you make them all the same size, it just looks kind of boring. Another thing that I always tell my students is if you're trying to make a star, it's very difficult for students to just make the star by making the outline of the star. So instead of doing that, very, very lightly, just go ahead and make the star like this. And then just darken up the outside. You can make any adjustments as you go, and then you can erase out the inside. That's just so much easier than trying to draw the outline right off the bat. This also works for letters, because letters are just shapes, but you would have to make your letter be a block or a bubble letter. So for instance, if I'm going to make a T, it would have to be a block or bubble letter, not just a line. So I'll make one of those. Now that I have all of my shapes drawn, I'm going to start making them look three-dimensional by connecting them all to my vanishing point. I'm going to start with the shape that's the closest to the vanishing point, which in this case is the circle. And I have to go, for round shapes, I have to go to the outermost edges. So I'm going to put my ruler on the outermost edge and on the vanishing point. And I'm going to connect both sides like that. So there is the first shape. Next, I think the star is probably the next closest, so I'm going to connect the star to the vanishing point. For shapes that have straight lines, you're going to connect each end of the line to the vanishing point if you can do it without going through the shape. So I'm going to start with the point that's closest to the vanishing point. Here's the other end of that line. Here's the end of that line. Notice every time I'm drawing to the vanishing point. This end of the line is just basically retracing what's already there, but I can connect this one to the vanishing point. We'll see if we can do this. Now I have to stop if I'm going to go through the star, so there's just a tiny little sliver that's showing right there. I can't connect this without going through the star, so I'm not going to do that end. This I can do a little bit, but again, I have to stop when I get to the star. So that would be all I could do for the star. The next shape that I can do would either be this one or this one. So I think I'll do this one next. Again, with this shape, I'm going to go to every end of the line. I can't do this one because I would be drawing through my shape, and these shapes are solid shapes, not transparent, so I don't want to draw that line through it. For this organic type shape, I have to go to the very outer edges and the vanishing point. This time, for this one, I'm going to end up bumping into my star. So I want to stop at the star. And what that does is it makes it look like this shape is behind the star. So next I'll do the T. Again, every end of the line gets connected to the vanishing point if possible. I can't connect that one because it would go through the T, but I can do that side. Always make sure that your ruler is still on your vanishing point. Sometimes it has a tendency to move. I can't do this one without going through the T. I wouldn't be able to do this one either without going through the T, or this one. So the T would be finished. One more shape. Again, for this one I have to stop at this shape. I will go to this top. Again, I'll have to stop when I get to my diamond shape. And here I'll be able to do a little bit, but again, I'm going to have to stop because the diamond shape's in the way. And again, that makes it look like this triangle is behind this. So this is more like a prism. This would be behind this. I have a T and my other shapes. If you decide that you want to add some color to these, which are now forms, because shape is the two-dimensional and form is three-dimensional, so now that they're all three-dimensional, we can add some color to it, but we want to make sure that we retain the form. So you would want to make sure that whenever you color this, that you would color the bottoms or the sides and the front different colors or different values, light and dark, so that you can still see all the different sides of the forms or prisms, and it wouldn't look like just one big, like for instance here, if I did this all the same, it would end up looking like one big teardrop shape instead of actually looking like the front is a circle and then the side actually goes back into the distance to the vanishing point and look like a three-dimensional form.